daughter's imaginary friend. Knew things she couldn't possibly know. I don't really believe in this stuff, or I didn't. Now, I'm not sure what I believe. My daughter Emma just turned 5 last month, around her 4th birthday. She started talking about her friend Clara, typical imaginary friend stuff. At first, she'd set a place for Clara at dinner, talk to her, while playing normal kid things. My wife and I thought it was cute, but Clara was weirdly specific. Emma said Clara was 7 years old, had long black hair, and wore an old-timey dress with flowers on it. She said Clara was sad because she missed her mom. About 2 months ago, things got strange. We were having breakfast, and Emma suddenly asked why we took down Clara's picture. I had no idea what she meant. She insisted there used to be a picture of Clara in the hallway upstairs. We've lived in this house for 3 years and never taken down any pictures. Then last month, my wife was going through some boxes in the attic, looking for old baby clothes. She found a photo album that belonged to the previous owners. They'd left it by accident, I guess. Inside was a photo from 1982, a little girl, maybe 6 or 7, with long black hair, wearing a floral dress. Written on the back, Clara, age 7, summer 1982. My wife showed me, and we both just stared at it. There's no way Emma had ever seen this photo. It was buried in a box under a bunch of other stuff in the far corner of the attic. Emma's never been up there. I asked Emma to describe Clara again. She described the girl in the photo perfectly. The dress, the hair, even said Clara had a tooth missing in the front, which you can see in the photo if you look close. We didn't tell Emma about the photo. We weren't sure what to say. A week later, Emma told us Clara doesn't come play anymore because she found her mom. She said it so casually, like she was talking about a friend who moved away. I did some research on the house, found an old newspaper article from 1983. A 7-year-old girl named Clara Bennett died in a car accident about 2 miles from here. Her family lived in our house from 1978 to 1985. The accident was in 1982, the same year as the photo. Emma hasn't mentioned Clara since she said she found her mom. I keep trying to rationalize this. Maybe Emma saw the photo somehow and we forgot. Maybe it's just a weird coincidence, but the timing, the details, the way she described everything before we ever found that photo. My wife thinks Clara was real, that she was here and Emma could see her. I want to think there's a logical explanation, but I can't find one. I'm not scared exactly, just really unsettled. If Emma could see Clara, what else can she see that we can't? So I was in the Virginia MD area and had a lot of work-related sites ranging from downtown Baltimore to Virginia Beach and all around. Friday wrapped up, and I hit the road to some social arrangements I had made for the weekend. Spent the weekend with friends out in various parts of Virginia, dragged off to other places even further out. The usual weekend, fun times. It's late Sunday night when I had to leave. I'm fully rested, no alcohol in my system. I was on the highway at about 3 a.m. in the middle of nowhere, between Roanoke and DC. Absolutely nobody around. I'm cruising along in the left lane simply because because nobody else is around. There are no headlights for the past hour, no tail lights, no road lamps. Either it's dark, it's mildly damp, it's foggy. I have the music up. I'm feeling good. All is fine. And then I just happen to look to the left, and there is a dog barking at me, a German shepherd, in a car passenger seat, somewhat blue glow from the instruments inside the car, and it's got its face to its window, and it's barking its head off at me. I get a good hard look at it, too, because at first my brain was not registering that it's a cop car. Dummy. I'm doing 90 plus in a 75. I promptly have the oh no moment when the dog, the instruments, the white Crown Vic /light bar all click in my brain. After a second hard look, I put my foot on the brakes and start slowing down hard, but safe to pull over. I even put my blinker on to start shifting lanes over to the right to pull over, because, wait, there is no shoulder on the left side of this road. I look back to my left, where there is still no shoulder room for another car, and it's just gone. No trace. I slammed my brakes and stopped in the middle of the highway, flipped on all my light bars, and even looked around with my handheld spot. There was nothing. No tail lights, no headlights, no engine sounds, nothing. There were no other tire marks but mine, and I can see for a nice long distance both ways, too. Nothing. My vehicle had great visibility and a lot of extra lighting. Off-road SUV with the trimmings. There is no possible way somebody pulled a sneaky, let alone drove that fast on wet, sloped grass and rocks on my left side. So did a ghost cop, and his dog didn't like me speeding. Or am I just crazy? This is my father's story, and he wasn't a long-haul trucker, but rather a 18-year-old gas station attendant in the late 70s. And without a certain long-haul trucker, I probably wouldn't be here today. The gas station was open 24 hours, and my dad was the only one working the night shift. A guy comes in and just gives him the creeps. Seems sketchy. He was wearing a tight jacket pants, and you could tell he had something in his pants under the jacket. It was during the summer and was warm, so why is he wearing a jacket to begin with? It was later confirmed he was high on something. A lot of truck drivers used this station, as it was the only one open 24 hours for a long stretch of the highway. They also had a big lot where they let truckers park and sleep or take a break. On this night, at this time, it was just my dad, sketchy dude, and one trucker in there. He kinda knew and asked if he'd stay in the station and hang out until sketchy dude left. Well, after looking at the stocked shelves for several minutes, while sneaking peeks at my dad behind the counter, the sketchy guy eventually looked fed up and got into his blue car and sped off. The cool trucker guy hung out with my dad a little longer, until another couple of guys came in to use the booths. They had to eat a sandwich. I should also point out this was pretty middle of nowhere, rural, southeast United States, and the 1970s. CB radio and landline was all they had. My dad only had a landline in the store. He did not have any protection or weapon of any kind. So the hours passed, and my dad had shaken off the paranoia when all of a sudden this truck driver came into the lot, jumped out, and sprints into the store hollering he needs a phone. He didn't have a CB radio. nor did he see a phone at the other station. He also wasn't familiar with the area, and my dad's station was the first place he found. He calls 911 to report that he had walked into a gas station 40 miles back to find the attendant shot and unalive, no one else around. The only other piece of information is that a blue car was speeding out of the lot when the trucker pulled in. Apparently, they eventually caught the guy in the blue car, and my dad confirmed it was the sketchy dude from earlier in the night. They charged him with murder and armed robbery. My dad certainly dodged a bullet that night. To the long-haul trucker who waited around with my dad that night, thank you, and I hope you're keeping it real.